So today's video is a request by one of my subscribers who is a joiner himself down in Victoria in Australia, and he's a school teacher nowadays. Like, he's taken on a role to woodwork teaching at school, and he's just asked me if I could put together a video for him to show his students just on the benefits of being a joiner or being in the woodworking industry. So this is my attempt to try and help him out to show his students, or give his students a lift up as to why you would want to be a woodworker. Firstly, I'll say that even though it's a pretty dusty industry, in saying that, it's also a very clean industry, because we're not covered in grease, we're not covered in concrete, we're not covered in dirt, anything like that. A quick blow off at the end of the day, blow all the dust off us, we go home and we're pretty clean. Secondly, I would say that if you get into the right business, like if you are able to get an apprenticeship in the right company, you learn a wide range of skills. Now, joinery in and of itself is a very big field. It has been narrowed down, and certain aspects of it have been taken out and specialised more so, but the field of joinery is very big. And we cover work like kitchens, staircases, doors and windows, furniture, just to name a few. But a lot of the time these days, most businesses generally close it up and they'll specialise in one field. Like, generally speaking, here for the last 25 years we've pretty much specialised in windows and doors. In saying that though, when I did my time with my dad, I was taught the entire field of joinery, because in those times Dad was still doing everything, so I learnt the whole scope. But I just preferred to do doors and windows, and I also really enjoyed staircases, but at that point Dad was starting to get a bit older and he didn't want to do stairs anymore because it was too heavy a work. But as I say, it's a pretty broad scope of the skill level that you can get up. So the better company that you get in with that covers a wider range, the better skill set you'll end up with. It's also a trade that you can be in from the time you start your apprenticeship literally right through until the day you retire. It can be somewhat demanding on your body, but it's not a job like concreting or bricklaying or those types of jobs where they just absolutely hammer your body, and by the time you're 40 you're looking for something else to do. Joinery is one of those jobs where, as I said, you can go, my dad went from 15 to 80 in this trade. So it certainly has longevity with it there. And it's also a very enjoyable trade. In my business here, we get a wide variety. Even though I specialise in doors and windows, we get a wide variety of work to do. So we're not very often doing the same thing too close together. So the enjoyment factor of it is pretty high, because we don't get bogged down with mundane day after day of the same sort of thing. So if you can get into a company that's on a similar scope to that, then you're really going to enjoy your trade. Another benefit here, which as an employee you might not think is a benefit, but certainly from my perspective is a benefit, is we're not affected by the weather. Doesn't matter whether it's raining outside or whether the sun's pounding on you. You're in the workshop, you've got a roof over your head and a fairly stable weather condition here. So we're not affected in that respect. Which sort of almost leads into the next thing, is it's a pretty good paying job as well, and that's one of the other benefits of being in the factory and not being affected by weather. When I was a young fella and I worked outdoors, we used to miss out on a lot of work because of rain. You'd turn up to the job site and it'd be raining. We'd sit there for half an hour to an hour waiting to see whether it was going to stop, the rain wouldn't stop, we'd have to go home, and that'd be a day's pay that we missed out on. So, you know, you can get, you know, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year you can work here. There's no weather condition that's going to stop that happening. And I'll just sort of wrap it up with also stating that one thing that is very important in your working life is to have job satisfaction. If you're stuck in a mundane job where you really hate it, it's going to be a slog. You know, when you consider these days, you know, most people will work until at least 70 now, and by the time you young people are even my age, it's probably going to be even more than that. So you want to get into a job where you have job satisfaction, because the job satisfaction also makes your job a lot more enjoyable to do. So if you're making and creating things, you get a lot of satisfaction out of seeing your finished product, and you're thinking, geez, I really like that, I've really done an excellent job of that. It really makes you enjoy your job a whole lot more. Now, I'll just finish up this video with, I'll put a compilation, whether it be photos or some snippets of videos of some of the work that we've done here, just to give you a bit of an idea of the variety of things that you can do. You know, we do circular work, we do angular work, all of that sort of stuff as well. And for ourselves, we often do bits and pieces of furniture here and there. So I'll just stick those in the end. If you're willing to hang around for another minute or so, I'll just put them in. And for the kids that Mark is your teacher, listen to what he's telling you. He has a real passion for joinery, and he can really help you understand and get a greater love for the trade yourselves. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.